Hi guys, tonight I'm going to talk about Devilish Intention written by Kasey Martin. Devilish Intention is a BWWM book, a black woman, white man book. Kasey Martin, this is I think that's her third or fourth book. I read all of her books so far and she's a very phenomenal author. So this book is basically about a couple's two sisters owning an insurance company. They're doing the work for a millionaire that owns a DBMS club. Okay, so the main characters in this book are twin Eden and Elsie, and the owners for the club are Camden and Jones, but there's also Camden brother Harper. So this book is really about revenge. So it started like this. Camden and Jones were having a party. Somewhere along the line, only it's a private club, so you only get in by invitation. Somewhere along the line, this woman came in and drugged Jones and ended up having sex with him and stole the access information, his access card, and got into the club maybe a night or two later. Stole valuable information, some jump drives, tried to ransack the place, but they didn't get any money. Well, they did, but only $500. So Jones and Camden went to the insurance company that's under it's called Lance Lancer in I think it's Lancer, either Lancer, Lansdowne, Lancer, yeah, insurance. The sisters' name, last names are Lancer, and they're twins. So Elsie first but met with Harper. We didn't get meet their interaction, so I guess we'll get it in their book. But in then the second meeting, the twins meet both owners and Harper at the same time. So that's when Camden fell in love with Eden. Eden's the oldest of the twins, and she's the CEO of the company. Elsie is the COO. So they started a relationship. Well, it was actually didn't start out as a relationship at first. Camden ended up accusing her of being fair to his company, make sure they get the worth. But he was very jealous of the fact that Eden was trying everything not to really deal with him, but deal with his Jones or his assistant Sam. So along the way, Camden got his feelings hurt and ended up apologizing, buying her 3 dozen lavender roses, and that's when their relationship began. So in the book, it started up and down. We found out that basically someone's actually blackmailing Camden about something that happened in the past, and he had no idea who it is. And in the same time, he's trying to have a relationship with Eden without even getting her involved. But at the same time, Eden was going through her own trial basically with her ex-boyfriend. He cheated on her. She walked in on him having sex with some girl named Chloe who's supposed to be his sister, like a sister to him, but end up he just wanted his cake and eat it too. But he really came mentally unstable. He was just stalking her, showing up at her job, everywhere she goes, asking her about if she's not over the situation yet, so they can move on. And it was just weird. Like I didn't expect him to like be like that. But yeah, some men are just weird. They want their cake and eat it too. And when the women don't want nothing to do with them, then they get upset. He was just a hot mess, and I just couldn't stand him. At the same time, Camden was still going through his situation. He doesn't know who it is, but he end up calling his friend Jake. Jake is in a previous book written by Kasey again. Jake owns a private investigation company. Also, he does security work. So he asked Jake to look into it, find out what's going on, who was the one that drugged Jones and everything. So Jake is in the mix, and they're all coming together and trying to work together, find out what's going on. At the same time, he's whining and dining Eden. I love their relationship. Their relationship is phenomenal. It's like a cat and mouse game, but they also really do like each other. So I really love their relationship in this book. It got a little bit and a little bit like weird because the guy, her Eden ex-boyfriend, would not give up. He was very persistent. He would show up at her job. He was just crazy. He showed there was a scene in the book when he showed up at her job when she was waiting on Camden to take her to lunch, wanted to know what's going on, when they could talk and where's the relationship going. Like he was really delirious. Like I couldn't understand him. Anyway, Camden ended up putting him in his place and calling security. Well, actually, he had hired bodyguard at that time. They like basically roughed him up and put him in his place. He didn't like that at all. Really didn't like that. So, but he was just weird, you know. But and then Chloe eventually, like later on the book, come to her and said, "Oh, I'm just trying to warn you that he's crazy. He said that he's going to get back with you, and I'm just passing time. But we really need to be in a relationship together. I loved him for a long time." They were just a weird couple. Like they needed to be together and leave Eden and Camden alone. Like seriously, it was just a hot mess. In the same time, Jones was trying to find out who the woman that drugged him and stole his information. He saw a woman in the club, but he didn't know who she was. So he was like, can I buy you a drink? She's like, no, you're gonna be earned, and that's basically the same line that he brought her in the he told her in the club. So I have a feeling who it is. He just don't want to really get into it. But Jones have a little background. His family is like in the not in the well, we don't really know what it is, but we know that there is in illegal activity, underground activities, and he has connections all over in politics and stuff. So Jones' book should be interesting. I can't wait for that. So yes, so Camden and Eden stories keep on going, like they're going back and forth. They don't know, like there is, as I said, it's a cat and mouse game, but it was very interesting. Their dialogue was good. Their relationship kept you. The lines that Kasey wrote in just basically kept you interested, want to continue reading to see what's going to happen, who's actually behind it. At the same time, giving you a little romance between the couples. So that was good. At the same time, you get to I'm not sure, you get to meet Elsie's the sister, and her upper. They have like a love-hate relationship. I know their book's gonna come up because there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that we don't really know about, so we just have to wait for future books to see what their situation was. But they come up on and off in the books also. So it turned out that Camden's assistant Sam, he was so efficient, too efficient actually. He was always there for Sam, always there for Camden, always helping him. So eventually he tells, "Oh, Camden, my sister's coming into town, and I might have to take some days off because she's like needs some run, she like needs some help." So he said, "Fine, no problem. Take a week off, and we'll get back and come back and start again." It's weeks on weeks and no Sam. Nothing's going on. Nobody knows about Sam. And at the same time, this detective that's been investigating the break-in, he's like hounding everybody. If I don't know who's what Camden is to Elsie, to Eden, what Eden is to Camden, and like stalking them. Like he was just weird. This detective was just like a hot mess, and like he was like the oddball in the book, but he was hired to do this. So towards the end, this fool detective tried to kidnap her. Can you believe that? So Eden ended up, while she was supposedly coming out the car for a cop, he's not very smart, but she called Camden on her car phone and tell him that she didn't even tell him nothing. He just overheard the conversation, so he knew what was going on. So he called Jake, and they end up finding her and finding the detective and basically rescuing her. And she was scared and everything, but they still had no idea what was going on and who was behind it. So the sister that's working with Sam basically is that her and Sam had a younger sister, and that she was dating Camden and somehow got hooked on drugs and died. So they're blaming Camden for her death. So that's how the revenge came into play. So you found out more about who the sister is and why was Sam helping her and why was he disappearing. So eventually the sister come into light now because she want to get rid of this detective that they hired to sabotage the relationship so they could get their revenge easily. So he was still in jail, but she had no he was still in the hospital under police arrest. So she disguised herself as a nurse. She put on wig, makeup, outfit, and everything. but she's trying to outsmart Jones. But Jones don't play that. He's kind of quiet, but you could tell he's like a slick quiet. He knows his stuff. So Jones end up catching her when she comes to the hospital. She's trying to play it off. Sir, this is past visiting hours. You don't need to be here and stuff like that. So Jones is like, you think you're slick and everything. So when she finally realized that she got caught, she's like, oh, okay, they will get away with it. Sam will get away now. So even though I'm got caught, Sam will get away. Nah, it didn't happen that way. Your brother was a fool. It turned out that now Sam was out of money, so guess what he did? Wanted to blackmail, basically went to gunpoint to held up Camden so he could get money from him and kill him, then bounce. Since both his sisters are no longer in his life, he gonna have to just find a way for himself. This fool was that he didn't even think. He thought he would have just get away with it. Harper was around the corner, basically waiting on Cam. They were going to meet up at Camden's hotel that he owns, and then he showed up saying that, oh, I need my money, and you hurt my sister, and I'm here to get revenge, because if it wasn't for you, she wouldn't be hooked on drugs. She would have been here right now. He was just like song and dance, but I'm like, people are so naive. Like, won't you think something else happened to your sister? But when you're her and you're blinded by rage, anything's possible. So end up that Harper end up saving his brother. Um, and he didn't die. He just shot him. So, but he was end up in jail anyway. And then, and towards the end, Else, Eden and Harper they got together. They were nice friends. Good, everything was going good for them, and they end up having happily ever after. And that's the end of Devilish Intentions by Kasey Martin. I will have a copy of the book at the end of the at the end of my video. Check it out. It's really good. As I said, it's a very love romance with a little bit of suspense in it. So she did a great job. Just check it out. Let her know what you think. All right. Have a good night, guys. Bye.